right, welcome everybody to Random Conversations. Hope everybody has had a great and wonderful week. Hopefully you're doing great in whatever part of the world you are listening to this today. I am John, and joining me as always is my partner, Mr. Richie Reardon. Richie, what's up, my friend?
Crispy Rich, bro. Crispy Rich for the night.
You look like a damn lobster.
Dude, I'm fresh back from San Diego for a week. Shitty random town, but a beautiful area nonetheless. Got to eat breakfast burritos in the morning, walk the beach, collect sand dollars with my family, kick back, not have a schedule for the week that I do it every year. And it was, I got to tell you, dude, when you don't have a schedule and you feel like you're retired and sitting on the beach and just having good conversations with people, random conversations, no pun intended, you're having a blast. So, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back at podcasting with you, man. And business as usual. So we're back to reality. What a crazy ride we've had for the past couple of days. Hasn't it been weird?
It's been wild. So we're taping this on July 14th. I know this is about a week before it airs. But, wow, man, it's been a wild a couple of days with everything. I mean, things that I've never seen in my existence on this earth. Somebody tried to assassinate an ex-president at a rally. And lots of celebrity deaths this week. And, important figures and people. There's been a lot going on this week, man. A lot of stuff going on.
Dude, it's been wild. I try to tend to it as God, our fucking generation has just gone through one thing after another. Like, if you talk about it from a perspective, like for me, for instance, 9/11, I was born on the invasion of Baghdad, and stuff like that, the first Iraqi war. And then you go from that to 9/11 happening and all these different things in our life. And this generation's gone through a lot, man. It's kind of like a form of, I don't know if you call it PTSD or what you call it, but it's just everything's so blurred together now that nothing really shocks you anymore. And that's kind of this, I mean, obviously it was like shocking to see the incident happen, but like you're so ready for the next thing to happen now that everybody's trying to predict the next thing, and they're not even realizing that this was a huge event. You know what I'm trying to say?
It was a massive thing. I mean, anytime the ex-president of the United States has an assassination attempt against him, my God, that's a historic and landmark moment in the nation's history that people, will remember for many years to come. It was wild, man.
Yeah, and if there's one thing I want to get the message out tonight, and what this show is created on, is I don't want to add to any more political divide than we already have with this.
Absolutely.
I think there's enough of that in our environment and our society, and that's kind of, this is like the boiling point of the toxicity of what we've created as a country with this divide. And this is kind of what me and you've been talking about this whole time with the show. We have to get back to common sense. We have to get back to some sort of peace in this country where you can live and let live, and the two different beliefs can exist again, and not this hostility, because this is a boiling point here. And I'm not talking about, President Trump, ex-President Trump, whatever you want to call him, getting, his ear skimmed and raising up his hand and all this stuff saying fight. I'm talking about the person that died behind him, the firefighter chief. That should be what we remember. Somebody who didn't get to go home to their family, went to a political rally to support his candidate, whether you agree or disagree with the candidate of his choice. That man didn't deserve to die there.
Absolutely.
And we send our thoughts and our prayers out to his family. I read the daughter's tribute to her dad this morning. It was really sad.
It was really beautiful, bro.
Yeah. And so, that's kind of what should be talked about. And it's a shame that this has been made out to be what it is. I'll say that. I'm not a huge Trump guy or anything like that, but to make it out like he's some tough guy when we lost somebody, actually, that should be the focus, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's barely even getting mentioned about the poor guy and his family who's not around anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, no matter what people believe on your political beliefs, man, everybody has the right to choose who they want to go for. Sure. That's the beautiful part about living in a democracy, is that you can make the rights of choice that you want to. You have those rights built in from our forefathers. They got to be rolling over in their grave right now when they see stuff like this, man. I mean,
I can't imagine. Not even our forefathers, our grandfathers who went and fought the Third Reich and things like that to liberate, the world from tyranny and evil. and here we are smack dab. And I'll be honest with you, both sides are evil. We have two sides of evil nowadays. It's the Democratic Party and it's the Republican Party. They both are contributing to this toxic environment that we live in. This is what we're creating with this two-party dictatorship.
When you see them making fun of each other, this is on both parts, man.
It's almost like gang warfare.
It is, and it's like we talked about a couple weeks ago on the show with the divide, and no matter what people think of somebody out there, that it's sad to see people that just take such pleasure in seeing somebody fail or somebody stumble on their words. We all get a laugh out of it. Okay. Sometimes
Yeah, sure.
we all do, but we're not heartless, man. We don't hate any of these people, whether we support their political beliefs or not,
No,
and it's
I don't want these people to be wiped off the
No.
face of the earth or harmed. I don't want their children harmed. I don't want their families harmed. I want everybody to get to a respectful level that we can get back to the middle and kind of meet in the middle again and end this nonsense, because I'll tell you what, man, it's as close to gang warfare as you can get.
I'll come out and say it right now. Let's honestly, for both of these guys that are running right now, let's show a little respect back to them both that put in 4 years of their life, both as presidents, whether you like them or not. Think of the commitment that both of these gentlemen have made, whether you like their beliefs or not, whether they've done wrong or not. In some ways, everybody does wrong. They've both done things for this country in a positive way too.
Absolutely.
And they're both trying, and they both are patriots. They're just different, and they're not the right choices for most people. We don't like a lot of the things that they're doing, but both of these guys, whether we like them or not, they've done their part to try to serve our country. And when I look at both of these guys too, I really firmly believe this. I've been thinking this more the last few days. I mean, I don't really think Trump or Biden really wants to run. I think it's, to me, for both of them, that it's something that they've just kind of been pushed into that they can't get out of because there's no other alternatives for it, for people. And, people try to fake it till they make it sometimes. And these two are trying in a late stage of their life, man. Biden is 81.
They're in their and this is what I'm trying to say.
They're in their 80s, man.
This is like gang warfare, and the two top, shot callers are in their freaking 80s, dude. And it's like, come on, can we just stop? Can we, I mean,
let these two ride off into the sunset, man. I'm all about that.
I say, they're not losing sleep over us at night. They don't care whether our relationships, our friendships continue over the differences we have over them, So the fact is like, we need to come back. It's like, I was watching old clips of Ronald Reagan and his opponent that he had, and excuse me if I don't remember. But they didn't like each other, and things were getting pretty heated and tense back then, but they still kept it presidential. They still would crack jokes, but it would get back to a presidential professional level that it should be for the highest office in the land. This should not be some Wild West gunslinging, blue versus red, Democrats versus Republicans. Like, we don't need that type of shit, and this is like, we need to put respect back on the office. Like, are we really going to make this the status or the level that we go to every time a president is elected now, where we're basically on the brink of civil war? Had Trump died yesterday, we would be having a very different conversation. This would be a very different conversation. I don't even know if we'd be having a conversation, to be honest with you. We were that close to a civil war breaking out yesterday. And I don't think people, that's what I'm trying to say. Things have happened so fast in our society. So many things with the information age that we live in, we take in, we process, we have constantly exposed to us on 24/7 basis, that it's like a form of PTSD. You just kind of go on to the next thing. And that's what's happening with people. And they're not really processing what we witnessed yesterday and what could have occurred from these events that happened.
I was wiped out from it today. I got up this morning, got up pretty early, had some stuff to do. It's a Sunday, got to get some stuff done, some chores done. So I'm running around. I'm listening to the news a little bit. I'm not a big guy that listens to the news because it's too toxic for me all the time. I mean, I try to keep up on things a little bit, but so I turned the news on just because last night I hear it. I had to turn it off within about 5 minutes, bro, because it is disgusting. I'm just tired of hearing about these two guys. I'm hearing about these two sides fighting. I'm tired of the divisiveness. I'm tired of people making fun of one another constantly on each side. Right. I'm tired of people taking this country and trying to put it into a civil war. We need some common sense and some reason. We got
to reverse it back to common sense, family, country, seriously. God. Loving people, helping your neighbor.
Being a good person, man.
Just being a good person. If you put that out in the atmosphere, it's going to come back tenfold and come around.
Yeah.
You see when you put kindness out, people are kind around you. It's a what do you call that? When you can catch something rapidly, it's contagious. When you're
Yeah.
kind, it's contagious, right? And
Yep.
so if you put that out there, make that what is contagious, not this
Yeah.
toxic crap of feeling you got to wear a MAGA shirt or feeling you got to wear a Biden Harris 24 shirt or whatever the fuck,
Mm-hmm.
just get back to the way we used to be, man. And everybody live and let live. Let's be able to watch football again without talking about fucking politics in the middle of it and who stands for the
Seriously.
anthem and who
And
sits
everywhere. It's
and who's
everywhere
taking a
now.
shit in the bathroom while the anthem's playing. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like it's gotten to a boiling point where it makes me embarrassed. Like I literally am embarrassed.
I mean, what do you think other people are saying about what's going on here, man? They're getting a
They're
good
laughing
laugh
at
right
us.
now. They're laughing at us, man. And
You think Putin isn't relishing in this? You think Kim Jong-un isn't relishing in the fact that we've never been more divided? Xi Jinping, the people that want to take over and form a new world order, and so you think they're not relishing in the fact that we're all doing this to each other?
it's what they
They're
want.
every moment of it.
Yeah, it's what they want. We've been saying it on since the debut episode that we did.
Absolutely.
And we've been saying it about, the World War III potential, but also about the Civil War potential, that was the greater threat. These
Yeah.
are acts, when you do something like this, that, let's be realistic, we don't know yet as of taping of this what the motives were in any way.
No.
He made a quick little stupid video that made absolutely no sense. The
You
shooter.
can't tell if this guy's a fucking Republican, a Democrat,
Yeah.
what I mean.
Right now, I mean, I know this is going to be played a week later, so I know a lot of stuff is going to come out after the fact, after we tape this. But as of right now, nothing's known really about this guy. There's
No.
rumors he was a Republican. Then there's the video where he says F the Republicans and F Trump.
F Trump, and you got the wrong guy, and
yeah, and all this other crap.
And then you got the sniper saying that his commanding officers. He had the shooter in sight for 3 minutes. His commanding officers made him stand down for 3 minutes until the shooter actually took the first shot, and then they told him to take him out. There's a lot, and then he lost his job. I don't know. Later on, this comes out and stuff, because we're pre-recording this, but a lot of information is coming out about the actual guy that took the shot, and that he's coming under a lot of scrutiny and stuff. So
I didn't see anything about him. What's going on with him?
So basically, what they're saying is that because you and I were talking, and when you secure an area, just to qualify for a rifle in basic training, it's 150 yards to 500 yards. It's your qualification shots.
It sounds like a lot too, folks. It's an easy shot.
It's an easy shot. I mean, and when I say this, 150 yards is a football field and a half. And that's, it sounds like a lot because you're picturing a football stadium right now. I'm just talking about the grass portion of the football field. That's about the length of it, 150 yards. And that's what this shot was. And apparently they're saying that he used an AR style rifle. That could be anywhere from a 22 to they sell 50 caliber uppers that you can place on your AR platform and, make it a sub, semi, I can't even
semi-automatic.
Semi-automatic, yeah. Semi-automatic rifle. I mean, you could go anywhere from a 22 cal to a 50 cal. So there's no news on what caliber the round actually was. Now, when I heard it live,
it sounded like a 22.
It sounded like a 22. It sounded like a muffled 22 with maybe a suppressor on it. I counted about 6 shots. Apparently, there were 7. And then they responded, of course, with their 308 round that they had in their sniper and took care of business. But this shooter, the sniper actually has come under scrutiny, and basically he said, "Hey, listen, I saw the guy for 3 minutes. We were alerted by people in the crowd that there was somebody up on the roof with a potential rifle, and basically he was told to stand down and until he made any moves to take a shot at Trump." So once the shot was taken, he was then given the command to return fire. But they had seen this guy 3 minutes prior.
How could you let that go? Because
he's 150 yards away. That is not
the
a long
shot in the world, folks.
We did that with iron sights. And
seriously, no scopes, folks. No scopes. Zero.
This guy had a scope.
Iron sights, for those who don't know, it looks like looking through a little pinhole, basically. Yeah. There's nothing to it, and you match it up.
These green ugly targets that pop up.
Yep.
At a qualification course, and you got to hit them.
And it's as easy as can be. Okay.
Yeah. Once you start getting 500 yards out there and stuff, it gets a little tricky and stuff. That's all great and fine. But
what's the longest you ever shot?
I hit the 500 yard. I actually qualified as sharpshooter.
Okay. We did 800-meter
I did not
targets.
get. I did not get expert.
Yeah. We
No
did
matter
the
how hard
800.
I tried.
We did the 800 ones, you know, that we would do the really far out ones so they could show you different
Yeah.
things on what they could do and the capabilities. Hard shot, of course.
Yeah.
You know, hard shot.
Mhm.
150 feet, bro, cakewalk. All right. And I'll say
150
this.
yards. 150 yards.
Yeah, 150 yards, excuse me. 150 yards, cakewalk. All right.
Yeah.
Cakewalk. Not easy shot for anybody with a little bit of training. Okay.
Right.
Who knows what this guy's training level was? I have no idea. I mean, it looked like a 22 round too, because if it was a 5.56 round, that would have taken his ear clear off.
That's what I don't understand ballistically. You know, Trump's ear looks too intact for me
Yeah.
to be hit by a 223 or a 5.56 round.
Yeah.
It's just something don't add up there. So
No.
at 22, I could see it. 22,
Yeah.
I could see it, skimmed his ear, you know,
Cut him
whatever.
a little bit. Yeah.
You know, and that would explain, you know, the lack of blood from the guy that actually got hit and killed behind him and stuff like that. There wasn't a lot of, you know, and I hate to be graphic like that because you know, they're family members and stuff. I don't want them to hear that stuff online. I'm sure that's hard to hear,
Sure.
but you know, ballistically, it just doesn't make sense to me. Something, you know, it didn't pass the smell test when I first saw it. And as soon as you texted me, I was like, you know, it's not just me thinking it, you know, it seems weird to me, you know?
I mean,
So,
I'll say this too, is I've driven in the presidential motorcade before for President George Bush in 2006 when he went to Korea. So I drove in the motorcade. I know the process that goes involved with rallies and things like that when they do them, or these meetings when the president comes. I also know
they're securing more than 150 yards out.
Bro, they were literally, this is no bullshit, man. We were preparing 45 days in advance for the president coming for that visit. Okay, 45 days. We had to have specialized, you know, vehicles for them, specialized things that they needed to, you know, have for them. They were there a week ahead of time or so, even maybe more, who knows, checking out the perimeter, scouting out the area. Secret Service was there, you know, experts of everything. He flies with multiple planes with him, so they don't know which plane that the president flies in. I think they fly
vehicles of the same type. And
yeah, all of his limousines that they ride in are literally, I mean, they were a Cadillac emblem on it, and the Secret Service agent told us the only thing that is Cadillac about this is the emblem. Everything else was just
bulletproof,
geared.
armored.
The fucking doors are like that thick. The ballistic windows are that thick too. I mean, it's insane, like what you see. And then there are sharpshooters everywhere around. Everywhere.
That's why, to me, this looked a little bit lax. And not to mention, you got a guy 150 yards out. That's not that far. And then also, when I'm surveying the area, I kind of looked over Google Earth a little bit of this area. There's a freaking water tower right there that they had nobody on top of. Water tower, literally right there, the highest point that you could put somebody on, that had a ladder that went all the way up. Perfect spot to set a rifle and scope around. Would have had a perfect bird's eye view of everything around that place. There's nobody up there. You're going to tell me that experts and Secret Service and all these guys that do this routinely aren't going to look up at a water tower that's the highest point of that area and not put somebody up there?
And this dork kid, let's be realistic. He looks
that should scare people. That this kid,
this dork,
20-year-old kid,
you know, was able to infiltrate Secret Service,
worked at a retirement home, for serving food to retirees. His parents were counselors. This guy was not a Rambo individual by any stretch.
He looks like a dweeb, and
he looks like Joe Dirt.
Yeah, with glasses.
He looks like Joe Dirt. Like,
he's got those chomo looking he's got those chomo looking glasses too.
Jeffrey Dahmer and Joe Dirt had a child together. That's
what he looks like a creep. You know, he looks like
not
one
to
of those,
desecrate the great name of Joe Dirt or David Spade, but
I mean, this kid infiltrated and did something to take out a man as high profile as him and almost took him out. He was able to infiltrate this rally and things. And anybody that will ever tell you go to a rally now, dude, they pat you down, man. They give you the third degree. The only way somebody's getting by this, you know, and this, of course, just opinion, speculation, folks. We're not saying this is fact. It's not
education purposes.
Yeah, just for education. We got to throw that precursor out because people take things literally too much. We're just talking. Oblivion. So you mean to say that this kid got through all these people and without help of some sorts? Somebody had to turn a blind eye. Somebody had to let this guy go. This kid had to have known a path of what they were doing for some reason.
Let's be honest. You know, Donald Trump is he's definitely created some enemies that would do that.
Well, we've been saying it for years on the show, and it just
Mhm.
in part behind the scenes, we said, Lord forbid, man, somebody's going to whack
On
this
either
guy.
side. Yeah,
Yeah,
on either side.
the people
There's
are
so much
hateful and
hate built
crazy.
up. There's so much hate built up on both sides,
Yeah,
whether you're for Trump or you're for Biden.
and
It's
they
come to
incite
this
people. Like
point.
Trump incites people to a level of vitriol and hate that I've never seen.
Mhm.
He's we do pro wrestling, on our other show, dude. He's pro wrestling 101 right there,
Yeah,
man.
sure.
He is the ultimate heel to many people, and then he's that ultimate baby. He's a better heel than Vince McMahon
And I'm
was.
not saying that he hasn't done that.
Yeah,
There's a lot of times that we would wish, he would be more presidential, more
sure.
professional, shut his damn mouth and quit
Yep.
being a loudmouth.
Hmm.
And on the other side too, and I'm not talking about Joe Biden. I can honestly say that Joe Biden's, for what he is, he's pretty timid, and he's instructed on what to say, so he doesn't have
Yep.
the kind of swagger, I guess you would say, that Donald Trump does to kind of
He
incite
doesn't
that
have that
kind of reaction.
presence to
Right.
him.
So, but there are people from that side that do,
Oh, of
the
course.
people from The View. I can't remember she's so irrelevant to me. The lady that do you know who I'm talking about? The lady that held up the severed head of Trump. Um, do you know who I'm talking about? The
I
actress.
don't. I
She's a
don't.
blonde haired lady. She took a lot of hate for it. I can't even remember her fucking name, but
Was it Kathy Griffin?
Kathy Griffin. There you go. Thank you.
Okay, that's what I thought. Kathy Griffin, maybe.
And so they do that type of shit. Johnny Depp did an interview where he said, "Is it still illegal to assassinate a president even though he's in the wrong 100% of the time?" Like, so there are people from the left that do that. It's the left and the right. That's kind of why I say this has been turned into like a gang warfare type of thing, and it's not from the people necessarily, like the grassroots people. People like you and me, blue collared Americans, stuff like that are doing it, even though they're very much passionate, support their people.
Mm-hmm.
It's more high level people, celebrities and stuff, that are going out and instigating this shit.
Yeah,
you know
and they're calling on them to be influencers for them too.
right.
They're both sides are paying people to influence for them and draw
Hmm.
these reactions up, good, bad, or indifferent.
Right.
I just don't understand it. I really don't. I don't understand how it's come to this level
Hmm.
and how bad it has
You got
gotten.
AOC jumping around like a freaking baboon
Yeah.
and say, let's fight,
Shout out
let's
to all
get
the people that
back.
came and watched that episode. Out of our long episodes, that's our biggest one ever, man. We put AOC up on that one. We got over like 2,000 views on that thing already.
That's my point, though.
Yeah, you know
Like
what's
she's
sad though?
the exact same way. Her and that Eon Omar, who once
Oh yeah, that
Sharia
idiot
law
she's from
and shit like
Minnesota, right?
that. Yeah, Minnesota.
Oh, I
Her
can't
husband's
stand
already
her.
they her husband's already been busted for embezzling money and shit. Like,
She's a treasonous traitor, man.
oh
She
man,
is. She's the worst.
yeah.
Oh, I
So
can't
while
stand
I'll say that Biden hasn't had that presence or instigating,
there's people everywhere that on
there's
each side that
people
do.
on
Come
both.
on.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it's bad.
It's who knows what's going to come of this, because we're going to find out more details in the coming weeks and everything like that. And
Yeah,
it's bad news, bro.
bad
It's
news all
bad
around.
news. Support who you like, vote for who you want to, but don't take it
But
to
leave
this.
it at that. Leave it at that and live and let live. Like, we don't need to kill each other over this
Can
shit.
you imagine throwing your life away and creating the cardinal sin of killing somebody, like that over a political candidate?
Here's my thing. Like,
Come on.
how has our society become that sick that a 20-year-old feels the need to take that responsibility on himself to do something like that? Like, not even take the responsibility. That kind of sounds stupid. Like I'm supporting him or something like that. And I'm not. Don't take that as what I just
No, I
said.
don't take that at all. That.
No, what I'm trying to say is what goes on in a person's head at 20 years old, thinking that I need to do this and this needs to become my mission, or whatever it is. This is how I'm going to go out. I don't understand that.
It's mental. You have to have a mental health problem.
You
You
do.
do.
You
You
do.
do. There's no
100%.
way you can go and.
I was chasing women around, drinking, having a good time with my friends. That's what a 20-year-old does in this country.
Of course.
And of course we were in the military and stuff too, but that's what a 20-year-old does in this country.
Not
You
doing
go around
this.
having fun, video games, whatever, not this shit. I mean, what drove a 20-year-old kid? He's a kid. I mean, he's an adult by legal standing,
Yeah.
but 20-year-old, you're just getting your feet on the ground.
Yep. now look what look what
He's
happened.
dead. He got his
A
wig
man's
split
life
because
was
he fucked
ended.
around and found out. It's
Yeah,
like,
a man's life was ended over this. A father, a husband's life was ended.
his
This
parents are
kid had,
completely shocked. They have no idea why he did this or
yeah,
what reasoning
his
behind it.
family's torn up now for their existence.
A
I mean,
retirement home's being torn to pieces because now
yep,
they're having to investigate that place. This is just it's insane, man. It's
it's
insane that it's
sad,
got to the
dude.
level that it is.
Yeah, it's freaking sad, man. It's sad to see that. It saddens me to think a 20-year-old would throw their life away like that and other people's, to
And what did you think your outcome was going to? You thought you were going to get away from that?
yeah.
Like, what did you have an
You have to
escape
be
plan? And
you
like,
have to be going into something like that knowing you're gonna die because
well, and
there's
there
no way
was
you're getting out of it.
so there was some investigating done on apparently one of his accounts that he had for a game program called Steam. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but it's a
I've heard of it,
program
yeah.
where you can download games and stuff like that, and play them online and whatever. There's actually a game that was developed where you had to save the president from being assassinated,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy played it for I think they said 178 hours and
Mm.
stuff. And then on his comments where like you can leave a rating or a review of the game, he said, "I hope this helps me in reality." Like there was no
Mm.
red flag there that anybody submitted that or said, "Hey, this might be a terroristic threat." Dude, I on election day, in my ignorance, posted something on Biden's and instantly had my Facebook banned. Instantly.
I'm not even gonna ask about
I can't even say what I said because I
I
was
won't say.
drunk and angry, and
Yeah.
I've grown and I've matured, So I'll leave that at that. Didn't say anything to the level of that, but I definitely expressed my dismay for the situation that was happening at the time.
And you got banned for that?
I got banned. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Yeah. Being drunk and posted on the president's wall probably doesn't sound like a
It's
good
not
idea
very
when you're
smart.
angry.
No, it wasn't. Hey, like I said, I've grown. We all grow and we live, and that's what I'm trying to say is we all grow and mature.